Hello and welcome to Sofa Recordings. Tonight we have a wonderful guest. I'm so honored to have you here on the couch with me, and we're going to have a lovely evening, I'm sure. Dillon Dixon, thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be talking about your life, what you do, and we're going to be hearing some beautiful music. So you have to stay tuned for sure. When I was reading up on you, I read something. Someone said, you've traveled wide, you've listened hard, and you've written from the heart. Would you say that's you in a nutshell?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. My whole life is a song, really, unfortunately and fortunately. I wear it on my sleeve every day.
Which is a good thing. You grew up in Colorado, and your parents or your family were also very musical, and they noticed really soon that you had a lot of talent.
Exactly. I grew up with an acoustic guitar in my lap for the most part, and I started as a drummer when I was a kid. And growing up in Colorado, it was very acoustic oriented, and I was really into John Denver and James Taylor and Kenny Loggins and all these kind of acoustic artists that all through the 70s and 80s kept coming through with really, really great songs. And I was like, it was kind of my calling. I mean.
And you went on to not only writing songs, country songs, but also dance songs. And we're going to get into all of that later on. But I do want to know why you are here right now in this place in Germany.
Oh my gosh. I'm in Cologne, Germany, which first of all is my favorite cathedral in the entire world.
That's a good answer.
But I haven't seen every cathedral. I'm sure there's other ones out there that will strike me just as much. But I got to travel here, I guess, about 25 years ago. And coming through town, I saw the cathedral, the dome, and I just, words can't express what the detail behind something so incredible, and that has survived so many turmoils, and this town is so old. To know that the Romans, were underneath our feet, and even in the dome they have some glass parts of the bottom of the building that are the foundations. It's like 2,000-year-old brick. It's incredible.
Absolutely, but is that something that a songwriter can say? Words cannot express. Are you allowed to say something like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Which is why you play guitar, because when you run out of words, you just fill it up with music.
And we're gonna fill up some time with music now before we keep. I could talk for you for hours, which we're gonna do. But we're gonna hear something first. We're gonna hear "A Love Fine." What song is that?
Yes,
about?
It's a song. It's a song I wrote with a good buddy of mine, Jimbo Hinson. I now reside in Nashville, Tennessee, and writing songs. I do a lot of co-writing, and Jimbo Hinson is a very, very dear friend of mine. We go back a long way. He's had many hits, country music hits, and he's been I guess a musical doppelganger for quite some time. And we were tooling around I was just riffing around with a kind of a pseudo country groove, and he said, that's a song. And I said, okay, let's write it. And he has this beautiful farm, and I was looking out in the forest, and he sits on this big kind of hill, and he looks out over his back porch, and there's this field, and then there's a tree line that goes into the forest. And I look out, and just joking around, we're kind of sitting over a cup of coffee in the morning, and I look out and I go, man, there's love out there somewhere. And he kind of came over and put his hand on my back, and he goes, that's all right, buddy, love will find you. And I said, that's what we're writing.
And that's what we're going to hear now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Love is a funny thing, pretty as a pleasant dream. Maybe that's why it always leaves you cold in the morning light, where you'd give anything just to hear it call your name. Love's not a desperate thing. The harder you chase it, the further it seems. I'm not saying give up, just give in and let it go. Love's bound to come around when you stop looking high and low. It won't crawl out from a rock, ain't hiding on a mountaintop, no. Just when you least expect it to, love will find you. Yeah. love will find you. Love's had your number now for so long, it's funny how all I got was a busy signal every time I called. So weed out a little room, yeah, and it'll rise like a harvest moon, shining down on the only one who was meant to be yours, was meant to find you. I'm not saying give up, just give in and let it go. Love's bound to come around when you stop looking high and low. It won't crawl out from a rock, ain't hiding on a mountaintop, no. Just when you least expect it to, love will find you. You can't dream it up, you don't chase it down. You won't settle with less than what real love's about. I'm not saying give up, just give in and let it go. Love's bound to come around when you stop looking high and low. It won't crawl out from a rock, ain't hiding on a mountaintop, no. Just when you least expect it to. Around the corner, out of the blue, love will find you. Love will find you.
Oh man, I love my job sometimes. I get to sit here and talk to you and listen to beautiful music. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You just said you were inspired by people like James Taylor or Sting, but also The Cure and Bobby McFerrin. All doesn't really fit together. Does that also describe your eclectic way of making music?
Yeah, it actually does. I mean, I call my life stages. I've gone through so many different stages of my life, and getting older, you look further back. Especially as a songwriter, because you're always grabbing for ideas, you're grabbing for things that are relative to your public, because songs are famous because people can relate to them. Mm-hmm. So, when I was a kid, here I am in Colorado, I'm in cowboy boots listening to AM radio in my garage with my father, yet I'll go downstairs and listen to like alternative music. Like I was totally into British pop for a long time.
Oh, really?
And British rock and roll. I grew up around a neighborhood of guys, a bunch of kids were a lot older than me, and they grew up in the 70s, and so they were all listening to like Led Zeppelin and The Who, and then I kept getting more and more interested into British rock, and then I found the Clash, and then I found the Smiths, and then I found the Cure, and then Tears for Fears and Howard Jones, and then I even got into alternative stuff, Blamage, Book of Love, dancey, alternative, New Order, that kind of stuff. And Kraftwerk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually had a couple Kraftwerk tapes from the 70s and 80s, and they were the pioneers of what all the kids are doing right now.
Absolutely. A lot of kids don't know that, actually. So
no,
we're telling you
that's
now.
a shame. That's exactly. A shame, because they should, from Devo to Kraftwerk. And when we were, a lot of us as kids, when we were laughing at that kind of music, they were just like, okay, laugh all you want. And here they are as the pioneers, kind of like the Beatles were to rock and roll.
So we have to kind of explain to people watching how you got from Colorado to Nashville, and there were a couple of spaces in between. You lived in New York for a while, and then you went on tour with Up With People. What is Up With People? I must say, I met you, or I saw you on stage when I was 10 when you were touring in Bonn, which is really crazy.
Crazy.
What was Up With People, and how did it change your life?
Well, it still is going on. It's a phenomenal cultural education program based out of Denver, Colorado. Actually, it's in Bloomfield, Colorado. And it originated in Tucson. And when I toured, you would travel with a cast of, let's just say, 100 people as a good round number. And they are, it's an international cast. It's like 5 people from Germany, 2 from Italy, one or two from Australia, 3 from China, 4 from Japan, 5, 10 Americans, Mexicans, Canadians. I mean, just all over the world. We even had a Russian in the time when it was not cool. You know what I mean? And it changed my life in the sense that I got to see the world, and I got to see the world doing music. And not only did I get to see the world doing music, but I got to see the world with other cultural people sitting right next to me with an English barrier, you know, and to their native tongue. And we used a lot of our hands. We learned different languages. We learned how to speak to each other. And more importantly, it's the power of music that brought it together, because music is just like the universal language. Everybody can speak it. They just play it. They don't use their tongues. And that's what makes it so cool, was to be able to travel around the world. And I got to see Germany a lot. I got to see Germany, Central Europe. I got to be in Scandinavia, America, lots of places in America that I never saw.
And he's actually not telling you, but you had to be a really good musician to be able to be part of this. So you're not saying that because you're too humble, I guess, but it was a really special pick to be part of this.
Yeah, it was definitely to your advantage, but there were other advantages with some of the other people who weren't so musical. They were more on a social level, or they were going to be future speech communications people, or speakers, or hosts for TV shows. We all kind of got a chance to really kind of focus out there as to what we personally wanted to do, because we were so comfortably worldly.
And I think someone there told you that you should go study in Berkeley, or but we'll get to that story after you play us another song. And the next song was going to be Invisible.
Yes, this is a song that actually made a little noise out of Nashville. For those of you who are country music fans out there, a guy by the name of Josh Grayson cut this a couple years back, and I think it's a song that a lot of guys would want to say to their girl.
Okay, thank you.
Baby, you always stop singing when I walk into the room. And just the other night, why did you stop dancing when I caught you in the kitchen with the broom? A part of you still keep all to yourself when I'm around. Sometimes I wish I was invisible, baby. I stand in the doorway, you're driving me crazy with every simple, natural thing that you do. Sometimes I wish that I could disappear, so baby, without you knowing I'm here, I can fall in love all over again with the way that you move. 'Cause when you're all alone and you don't know that I'm watching, you're so beautiful. Sometimes I wish I was invisible. Now I go crazy every morning just seeing you put up your hair. And I ride shotgun with you all the way to work, just to watch you walking in when you got there. Now baby, I'd love to see all those things you keep from me when I'm around. Sometimes I wish I was invisible, baby. I stand in the doorway, you're driving me crazy with every simple, natural thing that you do. Sometimes I wish that I could disappear, so baby, without you knowing I'm here, I can fall in love all over again with the way that you move. 'Cause when you're all alone and you don't know that I'm watching, you're so beautiful. Sometimes I wish I was invisible. Sometimes I wish that I could disappear. So baby, without you, knowing I'm here, I can fall in love all over again with the way that you move. Cause when you're all alone and you don't know that I'm watching, you're so beautiful. Yes, you are, baby. Sometimes I wish I was invisible. Sometimes I wish I was invisible.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Is there one line, one song that you wish you would have written? Something that you've heard, and for that, I don't know, that maybe a recent song that you listened to, or something that you think, I wish I would have thought of that.
Oh yeah, it's a Sting lyric by it's called "The Shape of My Heart." Is a song that he wrote, and Dominic Miller was his guitar player at the time. I think he still is. And "The Shape of Your Heart," the chorus is, "I know that the spades are a sword of a soldier. I know that the clubs are weapons of war. I know that diamonds need money for this art, but that's not the shape of my heart."
Yeah, that's a good line.
I mean,
that's just amazing.
But it's Sting, so he's just, we all set the bar, and we just try to get up there,
Were you trying to prove something to yourself when you decided to study in Berkeley?
No, not at all. Actually, I was. That's one of the reasons why my parents sent me to Up With People. Mm-hmm. They were like, "Okay, just go do this and either get it out of your system or go do it for the rest of your life." And I met some incredible people in my cast, and even not in the cast, even in the world, throughout the world, just sitting like this in Andernach, Germany, in a cathedral with a priest who plays guitar. He doesn't speak a lick of English. This is back in the late 80s, so he didn't English wasn't commonly spoken in smaller towns. And so he got out his guitar, I got out mine, and we just started jamming. And I was like, this is what I need to do. I want to do this the rest of my life. And I was on the bus, the tour bus, with a good friend of mine, Damir Precic, and he was from Tuzla, and it was Yugoslavia at the time, which in the middle of that war, he was on the road with us when that war went on, and he couldn't get home, which was really weird and very awkward and ominous, rather. And we were on the tour bus, and he had his knees up and he was filling out an application. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm filling out an application for music school." I go, "Music school? Cool. Where you want to go?" He goes, "I want to go to Berkeley." I said, "Oh, cool." And I'm getting ready to put my Walkman back on, and he doesn't even look at me. He goes, "You should go." And I said, "What?" He goes, "You should go." I said, "Okay, I'll consider going. I'll get an application when we get off the road." And he reaches right down in his bag, and he had an application for me.
Amazing.
And we filled them out together right there on the bus.
And are you thankful? Did you ever say thank you to him for doing that?
Oh, all the time. He's still a good mate of mine. He's in LA right now, making his own kind of wonderful music, yeah, we had a wonderful musical career together. And Berkeley changed my life again.
And why?
When you can go to school and not have to sit and do something you don't like for me, I didn't like math. I didn't like science. I love to read, but I didn't even like reading. Because when they tell you to do something, the last thing you want to do is do it. But music for me, to go to school for 4 years in Boston and not really have a college
Which is
campus.
the most amazing city, by the way. I'm a Boston girl.
She's a little name dropper. Go Sox.
Yes.
Anyway, to be there and be in the city, not out in this beautiful campus or anything. No, you're in with all the 9-to-5ers, and you're dealing with horns and traffic and cars and motorcycles and drunk people on the streets, and you're a musician, so you're looking for $1.25 pieces of pizza and tiny little 75-cent cups of coffee just to get you through the day. That to me was like, that's That was pure. That was a pure way to do it. Instead of going to some elaborate place where it was, don't get me wrong, if you're fortunate enough to do those things, by all means, and you want to do them, by all means, God love you. But not for me. Music comes from the dirt and the cement of the ground, you know. And I fell in love with jazz because of my grandfather. He was a fiddle player during the war, World War II. And I grew up going to his house listening to Louis Armstrong and Bix Beiderbecke and Buddy Rich Band and Quincy Jones and you know.
And then you know, we've been hearing you talk about so many. This is just amazing when people or musicians are open to all these different kinds of music types, because not every musician is like that. There are musicians who say, "I'm a jazz player. I don't want to have anything to do with, you know, alternative music or whatever," and that makes what you so special.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
is?
yeah, for sure. You know, if you're a jazz guitarist, what do? You play jazz guitar. You make records that are jazz guitar. When people come out to see you at your shows, he's the jazz guitar player that you go see. As for me, I just, I'm a sponge. It's just a waterfall of music, and if something moves me, I'm like, I want more of it. I want more of it. It's like trying different foods, you know. So
we have to try another piece of music now, I think. And we have to get to Nashville sometime. We're still stuck in Boston. We have a lot of years. We have a lot of years to keep. We're going to talk some more. Okay. But we want to listen to, and I have to look, Half the Day.
Yes.
What kind of song is that?
Half the Day. I went through a dry period in Nashville. I was chasing the country music dream for so long, and I had some really great cuts, like Josh Grayson cut Invisible. I'm doing another song later by another very, very famous country artist that I'm very proud of. But then as a songwriter, sometimes you're as good as your last hit. That's what we always say. And a couple years went by, and I was like, I don't know, what's gonna happen? Is anything happening? Am I getting too old, or am I getting dated, or is the music industry changing? Am I not changing with it? You know, all those demons, you know, us insecure songwriters put ourselves in the front of, and they're nightmares that we deal with. So me and Jimbo Henson and a couple other buddies, I took a break from country music for a while, a good long while, and I ended up writing a bunch of just like kind of alternative songs that ended up being what I wanted to do. And so I formed the Dillon Dixon band back in, I guess, 2000 something, 9, 10, I can't remember. And this song kind of popped out. It's called You Only Take Up Half the Day.
Dillon Dixon, Half the Day.
Mind to let go of this anger that once was all I wrestled with. I've got half a heart to just forgive you for not loving me the way you said you did. Yeah, the good news is I'm halfway over, halfway out from under this old cloud that follows me around since you've been gone. Time drags on, but my nights don't seem as long. Still my mornings are the hardest part, but by noon this fog has all but lifted off. Each step I take, I'm more than halfway okay, 'cause you only take up half the day. Now my smile is only halfway genuine, only halfway. Glad to see you again. look happy. Well, I'm getting there. You know, a part of me is always gonna care. Oh, but part of me, I swear, is halfway over, halfway out from under this old cloud that follows me around since you've been gone. Time drags on, but my nights don't seem as long. Still my mornings are the hardest part, but my numbness fog has all but lifted off. Each step I take, I'm more than halfway okay, 'cause you only take up half the day. You only take up half the day. You only take up half the day.
Half the Day, the Dillon Dixon Band, we're talking about it, that's one of your songs. And that's Jeffrey Wills, John Boom, John Toomey, and Walt Scott.
Yeah.
And I read that Jeffrey Wills, that you kind of stole him away from Take Six.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, and so what was the story behind that?
He played saxophone for Take Six when they started to do a little bit more band music, because you know they're a phenomenal a cappella band. And he lives in Nashville. All my buddies, all my mates there in the band live in Nashville. And I just kind of got to pick and choose. And I asked Jeff. Jeff and I are longtime friends. And I said, hey, I'm just putting a band together. It was just more like a project thing than it was anything else. And he's like, okay. And he was getting ready for some summer tours with him and stuff. And he also wanted to be home with his family. I can't take full credit for it, but yeah, he took some time off, and he's one hell of a saxophone player. Yeah.
And it sounds like you're all good friends. It says that your signature songs, the Dillon Dixon Band signature songs, are "Talk to Me" and "Hummingbird." That's what the internet says. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I would. Yeah, of course they are. They sound better with a full band. I picked that one. Half the Day, I picked that up because I can give our listeners a little bit more of the pomp and feel of what the whole song and feel of the song was supposed to be like. Hummingbird is just, it's more of a show-off thing for all of my guys. They all get a chance to really kind of open up and do their thing. It's like one of those 7-minute jazz tunes, and it's not a jam band thing, but it's all structured like a song. But I just let the guys go and go and go. It's like when Sting lets them go. I just wanted to make sure that I could show everybody that these guys don't just sit here and go boom, boom, boom. They can really burn on their instruments. Mm-hmm.
So let's get back to Boston, and you can maybe tell me, how did it happen that you graduated in Boston and you ended up in Nashville?
Well, I had the wonderful privilege of working with, being students with some fellow songwriters who decided to just move to Nashville after music. And Nashville never even crossed my mind, because I was studying jazz and I wanted to do folk music, like really cool acoustic guitar, James Taylory stuff. So Nashville was never really on my mind. And I took an internship with Polydor Records, and Polygram, whatever. And we were under an umbrella of a bunch of different labels. And my guys, just two friends said, hey, we're going to Nashville. We're going to write and get out on the road and try to play with some country artists. I'm like, see ya. Okay, fine, have fun. And in the interim, I got a job offer in New York with Polygram. And so I moved after we graduated from school. I stayed on one more year in Boston, and until the position opened up for me in New York, and I moved to New York City, and I lived there for 2 years. And while I was in New York, one of my mates who went down to Nashville, he got a piano gig with Susie Boggess, a country act, and they were coming through the Garden State Arts Center in New Jersey, and he kind of called me out of the blue saying, hey, what are you doing? I'm coming to town. was like, cool. And so he showed me got me backstage, and we were out back where all the tour buses were. And there's this basketball net for all the guys to kind of unwind. And we were shooting some baskets right after sound check before the show. And I said, he says, hey, how's New York? I'm like, it's great. It's a little expensive, but it's great. I love it. It's having a good time. And I said, how's Nashville? And again, he stopped with the ball and he says, you need to come down just for 4 days. Just come down for a long weekend. I want to show you this place. I was like, okay. So a couple weeks later, he got off the road and I went down, and he took me to this place called the Bluebird Cafe. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy by the name of Gary Burr who was there, and didn't know him from Adam. I didn't even know who he was. And he starts, the Bluebird's this really small little acoustic room.
That's very well known, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And four people sit around, and like me, and there's one over there, one over there, and one over there, and you kind of go in the round. We call it in the round, and you trade songs. And so this guy starts singing, playing with the Queen of Hearts. You know it, and I'm really smart. And I lean over to my buddy Steve, and I'm like, why is he singing this song? This is a Juice Newton song. And he goes, he wrote it. And I went, what? He goes, yeah, he wrote it. And I was like, ding! And so this huge light came on my head, and I was above my head. I was like, oh my God. And I saw the light of Nashville. I saw, from then on, we went to other little hot spots that had these acoustic rooms like this. And I was listening to where all the hits came from. I always thought that, the singer was the writer, because I know George Michael wrote all his songs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He was a huge fan of mine, and I know he wrote them all. So I was like, okay. But then to hear country music and hear other kinds of pop music, to know that other songwriters wrote those songs, I was like, I gotta see more of this. And
do you remember the first song you wrote in Nashville?
Yes, and I'm gonna actually close with it.
Oh, good. So we'll talk about that
later.
We won't say it now, but we will hear some more music. We'll talk more about Nashville later on. Till I Lay My Eyes.
Yes. Next. Yes. This is another Dillon Dixon band song that I wrote with a good friend of mine, Jimbo. Again, little bit more of a jammy tune, but I just love how it moves me, and it just pays homage to somebody that you really care for.
Till I Lay My Eyes.
I can see your curves in my mind, trace the lines with my finger in the air, paint a smile on your lips there. I can close my eyes night or day, hear you say my name so clearly in my ear. But I know no matter how close I get to the real you, every time I see you, girl, you blow what I've drawn away. But then nobody in this world could paint such a lovely face. So I'll do the best that I can do to hold me through till I lay eyes on you, till I lay my eyes on you. I can almost taste your softness of your kiss, hot and hungry on my mouth, like you're right here with me now. I can close my eyes night or day, hear you say my name, and so far out. Even with my wildest imagination, it's just an imitation. 'Cause every time I see you, girl, you blow what I've drawn away. But then nobody in this world could paint such a lovely face. So I'll do the best that I can do to hold me through till I lay eyes on you, my eyes on you, my eyes on you, my eyes on you. Oh baby, so I'll do the best that I can do to hold me through till I lay eyes, my eyes on you, till I lay 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 my eyes on you.
What is it like when you write a song and someone like Natalie Cole or Don Felder decides to sing it?
Oh, wow.
What kind of feeling is it?
Well, it's elation, really, because, you know, when you put your songwriter hat on and you take your artist hat off for a minute and you tell yourself, okay, now, I know this isn't something that I would personally perform or I would put on my record, but gosh, I just have to say this. Or gosh, this kind of music just has to come out. It does. And then when it does, and you're fortunate enough to have a publishing company, or you're fortunate enough to get that song to an artist or band, and the phone rings, and they say, hey, this is Don Felder from the Eagles. Dillon, you know, what do you say we get together and write some songs? I'm like, okay,
No, I have no time.
Yeah,
thanks.
exactly. Of course, you're just thrilled to death to be able. These are just, again, you're climbing your own bucket list ladder as a creative.
But was there a time when you were, for example, in Nashville or when you were younger, where you were writing songs and thinking these are my songs, and it was difficult to kind of to let go of them? Was it a process?
Well, I could see how you would think that, and anybody who's not really involved in the songwriting communities around the world, they sit at home and they write their own songs and they say, yeah, no, I'm not going to give this to anyone because I don't, you know, these are my songs.
Mm-hmm.
A very famous songwriter by the name of Harlan Howard in Nashville, he wrote all kinds of incredible hits, over 200-300 number one songs back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I was sitting in front of his desk with another co-writer buddy of mine, Rory Lee Feek, good friend. And we were talking to Harlan and just kind of sitting around. We took a break. Rory and I were writing together. We took a break from writing and we went into Harlan's office because he used to write for Harlan. And we started talking and then he said, you know, how's it going, guys? How are the songs going? I'm like, oh, it's going great. It's going great. You're going to get cut? You're going to get cut? You're going to get cut? And I said, I don't know, Harlan. I kind of like this one for me, because at the time I was chasing my artist thing. And he goes, man, you can always write another one. It was just that simple. And he just leaned back and said, you can always write another one. Get a cut, make some money, so you can continue to do what this is, and then you can write 100 more. So
do you have people who say to you, using or seeing music making as a job is something strange to them? Because, you know, some people may think you're allowed to make music and it's just, you know, it's not about actually earning a living and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. You catch a lot of both sides. You're like, oh, cool job. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh my gosh. And then there's other people who are like, that's not really a job, you know.
But it is, though. I mean, it's hard work.
It absolutely is, because they don't realize, you know, especially from some of my closer members of my family. They're like, oh, Dillon's off to Germany again. Have fun, you know, drink a beer for me, you know, that kind of thing. and they don't realize that I haven't had a day off in 30 days, and I'm just going, and it's just funny to see different reactions from the family, because then when they hear the song on the radio, they can, oh, my brother wrote that, or something like that, and they hear this, and then they call me, I'm hearing your song on the radio, and then they kind of have a whole different perspective of it. And you have to be around a songwriter long enough to understand that 1 year I could buy a house and a car, get married, whatever, and then next year or the year after that, I'm like, yo, you got $5 I can borrow for a McDonald's burger? Because it's true. It's just it's a roller coaster, but that's life, and that's why we're songwriters, is to just ride that roller coaster. And when we're down, we write down songs. When we're up, or vice versa. When we're down, we're like, I got to get up. How can I get up?
Sometimes the best songs come out of those hard times, though, I bet.
You got to live them.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to live them. Don Henley said it best when he wrote Heart of the Matter. He said, the song's only 3 minutes long, but it took a lifetime to write.
On that note, we'll come to the next song, and then we'll talk about Chedla music, because that is one of the reason why you're here right now, actually, writing songs with communities, and I'll talk about that. I want to hear some more music.
Yes.
And we're coming to Dreaming In.
Dreaming in the Wind is what it's called. Again, another Dillon Dixon Band song that it's kind of apropos that we just had this conversation about being a songwriter and being a creative, or being an author, or being anybody that's creative in the arts, anybody that has to create their own dance, or create their own pottery, or painting, or food, or anything they would consider themselves as artful, arranging these flowers. Everybody has a vision before they do it, and it usually starts with a blank canvas. No matter how, blank potter's wheel, blank canvas, blank songs, whatever. It starts from nothing. And when it finishes, that is just so triumphant to be able to know that you could squeeze so much, especially in a song form, so much information into your listener inside of 3 minutes, where they just press repeat and they go, I want to hear that again, or that song changed my life, or that song got me through so much. Or you look at a painting, and the painting is something that you cherished for years, or it's priceless, or all of these these all deal with the creative spirit. And the song's called Dreamin' in the Wind. It's about all of us.
Then be inspired.
Really isn't that much difference between us and our next of kin. From the treetops in the distance, we're all just out here on the limb. Monkey see, monkey do. First comes thought, then comes reason. Time to time, that's all it takes. Often happens while we're sleeping. Other times we're wide awake. There's only two kinds of dreamers: those who don't, and those who do. So my head is in the trees, swinging in the mental breeze, building castles in the air. You can laugh, but I don't care. Everything that lies below me was thought of by those before me. Dreaming in the wind, dreaming in the wind. Above the noise I reach for silence, to hear those whispers in my head. Beyond religion, beyond science, This is where I've come to rest, and in my visions of tomorrow are just clouds rolling over. My head that's in the trees, swaying in a mental breeze, building castles in the air. You can laugh, but I don't care. Everything that lies below me was thought up by those before me. Dreaming in the wind, dreaming in the wind. You could shake your head at me, and I don't care what you say. What's the worst that could happen? So I dream my life away. Yeah, dream my life away. My head's in the trees, swaying in a mental breeze, building castles in the air. You can laugh, but I don't care. Everything that lies below me was thought up by those before me. Dreaming in the wind, dreaming in the wind, yeah, yeah. Dreaming in the wind.
And now dreaming in Germany right now, writing music with Schedler Music, or you were signed for Schedler Music from Austria.
Yes.
You have to explain. So you see, I'm a little bit confused. How does this work?
Okay, real quick. I was in Nashville. A good buddy of mine, Jamie Garner, called me. He lives in Texas, but he lived in Nashville for a while. Made a lot of noise on television with country music. And he calls me out of the blue and he says, "Hey, man, you want to be in a band?" And again, I was kind of right in the middle of the Dillon Dixon project at the time. And I was like, "Well, what kind of band?" And he was like, "Well, we're going to try to chase like some of the Eagles stuff, American California country." I said, "You mean like 3-4 part harmony?" He's like, yeah. I said, "Cool, I would love to." He says, "Good, get on a plane and meet me in Innsbruck in 2 weeks." I said, "Innsbruck, Austria?" He goes, "Yeah, our producer's from there. And this is where we're going to be doing all the rehearsals." And I was like, whoa, wait, what? He goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna tour Europe first. We're gonna start Europe." I said, "No kidding." So I packed up my stuff and kissed my son, and I said, "I'll be back soon." And I went 2 weeks, and I spent it in Austria, and we wrote a record and recorded a record. We went up to London. I got to work with Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits and worked in his studio, Mumford & Sons. They're coming out. We're coming in. And it just was a phenomenal experience. And made a little noise in Austria with the band and parts of Germany. We did Starnacht, and we got a chance to kind of travel all over GSA. So it was just fabulous. And in the time, our manager was inviting, some publishers and other companies and such to come check out our shows. And Rudi Schedler and his company came out to see us. And my manager kind of dropped my name and said, "Hey, Dylan's from Nashville. He writes songs, and he's looking for a publishing deal." And Rudi said, "Send me some stuff. We're thinking of opening a Nashville office, and we're looking for writers." And I was like, "I think I'm your guy." And he kind of took me under his wing. And Alex Schedler, the A&R director of A&R, he has been exemplary in setting me up with international pop music. So back to my childhood, when I was going through all that British pop phase and pop music phases, those are all coming back out now, and I can exercise all of those again because they've been instilled in there for so long. And to be able to write with this generation of songwriter and this generation of artist on an international pop level is not too many people get to do this. So at least I don't think so. So I cherish it. I'm very excited. I'm in a great place. I love Schedler music. I love Österreich. Österreich is wunderschön.
Ja.
Oh, sehr, sehr Wunderschön.
This may seem like a silly question to you, but is it different writing songs in a place like Austria compared to being in Nashville from the feeling you have?
Of course, geography has a lot to do with it. You're in the Alps, you're going to feel something a little bit more than if you were in a cellar somewhere, in a basement, in the mold and cold. So yes, inspiration is everything when it comes to your geographic location. But once you get past that, you have to focus on your craft. You have to focus on why you're there. What are you doing? And you could sit there and write a bunch of John Denver songs because you're in Tirol, but they, I love you, John. It's great, but like no one's really kind of doing what you're doing right now. And so you have to kind of focus and use that inspiration and just dive a little deeper into. Was very fortunate that I wasn't playing acoustic guitar or metal, because you could be in Tirol and have an acoustic guitar. You're pretty comfortable there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You seem like a very mellow person, but when you're writing songs with other people, can you also get loud when you get annoyed? Are you somebody who says, "I want to have it this way though, and this is and I don't want your idea"? Or
I tried that. I mean, I did that when I was younger, and full of testosterone and opinions. And I'm not kidding when I said Harlan Howard says, you'll just write another one. So if I'm sitting with somebody who's insistent on doing it that way, I'll be like, hey, okay. And I'll just go through it. I'll get past the part I don't like and finish strong with the rest of the song. Or if it's not anything I really want to do remotely, I'll just say, guys, I'm not the one you need for this song. And you take off. Could be a mistake, because it could be a number one hit or something, but you never know. But I never do that. I really never, ever do that. As a songwriter, you could be a bamboo stick and you could snap in the wind, or you could be a reed. And if you're a reed in the wind, it's so much easier because that person that you're co-writing with got what he wanted, she got what she wanted, the artist got what they wanted, I got what I wanted. If you find, if you make a flower pot and fill it with different colored flowers, it's a lot easier than just putting a dozen roses in there, because everybody's going to be like, no, this is out of place, this should go there. I'm like, no, just put the colors in and let it all blend together so everybody can stop when they're walking by it and go, wow, that's beautiful, and then move on.
I think I'm learning a lot for myself tonight, actually. Thank you for that. Let's hear some music so I can think more about what you just said about it. I think I'm going to try being more the reed, because I'm more like the bamboo stick a lot, and I snap. It's Honey Hush now.
Yes. This was a triumph for me. In America, we have one of the greatest of all time in country music. His name was George Jones. And I wrote a song that was on his second to last record before he passed away. And to have a song on a George Jones record is as in the Nashville songwriting community is just like, okay, it's like kind of getting a Helena Fisher cut in Schlager, or a Rihanna cut in pop music. And he cut one of mine, and it's a song called Honey Hush.
Well, we look forward to hearing it.
So many things are on your mind. You look troubled and scared to death. And the chores you missed on your to-do list, they won't let you catch your breath. No, I know we've had some hard times, but I won't let that get in the way. Before you cry tonight and get uptight, there's one thing that I'd like to say. Honey, hush. Turn the lights down low, don't think so hard. Leave our cares and woes and dance with me. Let me lead you across the floor. Honey, hush. It'll be alright, it's something we should discuss. Oh, but not tonight. We can worry in the morning, but right now, honey, hush. Now things don't seem very easy. It's like our whole world's falling apart. But this love we share shows how much we care. We're forever joined at the heart. I believe that we'll get through this, but we don't rightly know what to do. But if there's a will, there's a way, with these bills to pay. As long as I know I've got you, honey, hush. Turn the lights down low, don't think so hard. Leave our cares and woes and dance with me. Let me lead you across the floor. Honey, hush. It'll be alright, it's something we should discuss. Oh, but not tonight. We can worry in the morning, but right now, honey, hush. We can worry in the morning, but right now, honey, hush. Honey, hush.
You're a song written for George Jones, and it's a wonderful song. So, how do you write a song? Tell me. What is the secret?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Your cup of coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it just puts you in the mood. You got to have a certain cup of coffee a certain way, and when you're at home, you get exactly what you like. When you go out somewhere, you know exactly what you like, and if you could get it, then it's just that simple moment of sharing a hot drink with someone, or a cold drink in the summer. A drink, not necessarily alcoholic, although sometimes,
That helps.
It helps. It helps, but sometimes it gets in the way. But so I choose coffee, and it's that 5-10 minutes, whatever it takes for the coffee to get cold or cooler by the time you finish it, and you're visiting with your co-writer, or you're visiting, or you're watching the news, or you're listening to the radio, or you're staring out your back terrace, and you're watching cars go by, and something just pops into your mind. You don't know what, but something pops into your mind that you feel is relative, not just for you, but for everybody else. As a songwriter, I like to think that way. As a commercial songwriter, I try to relate to, okay, if I said this, would everybody get it?
Mm-hmm. But do people always get what you're really trying to say? Have you written songs and you were actually saying something else and people thought you were saying something completely different? And does that bother you?
I've never really had that kind of criticism. I've had some musical criticisms where it's not necessarily based on the lyric. It's more on the music. It's like, oh, it's not my style. Or, oh, you should have done that faster. You know what I mean? You always get those kind of critiques. And again, we wear our hearts on our sleeves as creatives. So we go home and we're like, should we try that faster? Honey, hush. Turn the lights down low. Don't think so hard. You try it once and you're like, were they right? It's not like you always second guess yourself, but you're, like I said, you're a sponge to criticism. You're a sponge to influence. And you're a sponge to how you feel you need to communicate with the world.
Is there one topic you've always tried to write songs about and you just can't do it because it's a topic that, I don't know, it moves you too much, or it's, is there something that you've wanted to write about and you haven't been able to yet?
Yeah. It's not really a topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's more kind of in the lines of Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel, Genesis, some of those bands that were 70s and got huge in the 80s. Their lyrics, the enormity of their music, the anthemic sound that came from that, and it came from either a piano or it came from a guitar or in Phil Collins' case, drums. I have yet to conquer that. I have yet to climb that mountain. I'm very scared of it because I don't want to emulate too much of what they do or what they did and continue to do. But to hear that kind of power in Peter Gabriel's music, Sting's music, Genesis's music, that's just more than orchestral for me. It's just this wall of, it's just a tidal wave that comes at you and just completely douses you. And I haven't had that luck yet.
Well, that's your opinion. People may beg to differ. You know, I'm perhaps.
Yeah,
I would say so probably. But what is the song "Country Boy Blues" all about?
Oh boy, this one's just a little bit more of a fun song to kind of give everybody a little bit of. It's just fun.
This is not the climbing the mountain part.
No, this is a feeble attempt nonetheless. But it's more directed towards kind of the good old country boy, the good old guy who, whether he's the old man on the rocking chair out in the front, you know, in the heat of the day. Here it is in the middle of July, and he's kind of sitting here with an old newspaper, a little hat on, and people are walking by. He lives in an old house. It's kind of rickety. Or he could be the cowboy in the barn, you know, kind of sitting back on some hay, chewing on a piece of straw with a dip in his mouth and kind of putting his hat down low, taking an afternoon nap in the heat. But it's all about us hard-working guys, the non-millionaires that are just getting by but are happy. They're all right. They call it the blues, but man, as long as I can have a hot meal a day, I'm good.
I think you've set the mood perfectly.
All right. Let's do it in this key. It's a little lower. Oh, there. All right. Country music, y'all. Rocking away on the front porch. It's hotter than the 4th of July. I'm keeping an eye on the ladies passing by. See, I was born and raised in these here parts. I never made it past the county line. But from the stories I've heard, them city folk have lost their minds. I got a simple life, don't want much of nothing, just an evening breeze and a whole lot of loving. Yeah. I got holes in my shoes with nothing to do. Got a mailbox full of bills past due. Got a phone on the wall that doesn't ring through, but I'm digging these country boy blues. Dab a little dew from my forehead. Take a sip of strawberry wine. There ain't a cloud of worry in my mind. Yeah, the city folk are living like rats in boxes. They're hustling for the money machine, and them neon lights seem to turn them people mean. Oh, so mean. I got a simple life, don't want much of nothing, just a glass of iced tea and a chicken in the oven. I got holes in my shoes with nothing to do. Got a mailbox full of bills past due. I got a phone on the wall that doesn't ring through, but I'm digging these country boy blues. You can keep your city noise. As for me, I'll be happy hanging at the barber shop with the boys. down, hey, flipping down, 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 up, down, 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 down. I'm but I won't stop when I won't be baby. Playing for this down, down, hey, down, 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 hey, down, down. I got a simple life, don't want much of nothing. Just an evening breeze and all kinds of loving. But I got holes in my shoes with nothing to do. I got a mailbox, yeah, it's full of bills past due. I got a phone on the wall that doesn't ring through. But I'm digging these country boy blues. Yes, I'm digging these country boy blues. Hey, with my lovely bird up the day, oh, live up so, yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
See?
Yeah,
It was fun.
Absolutely. When you are not having fun writing songs and playing songs and performing, I read that you like to play golf. You like to eat Milka chocolate, but only the
Yes.
Traubennuss kind.
Only the Traubennuss, yeah.
And you also like to do yoga.
Yeah.
And do you also like to watch movies, and in particular Wes Craven movies, or how did that all come about?
Oh, geez. Well, I was very fortunate that back in the mid '90s, Damir Pritzis, my buddy from Up With People, who got me into music school. He was living in L.A. I was in Nashville, and he said, "Hey, man, you should come out to L.A. and check out the scene. There's a little bit of work out here that I could get you as a singer." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, why don't you just come out for a long weekend?" So I came out, and he was working with a guy by the name of Marco Beltrami at the time. And he was doing this Wes Craven film called Scream. And Marco said, "Dillon, we're looking for a song for the ending credits. Would you be interested in working on this with us?" And I was like, "Sure." So I ended up having a song on the ending credits of Scream, and that was kind of my introduction to Hollywood, and chased a lot of other Hollywood films after that. Came after that, but
Yeah, and a couple more for Wes Craven, but you also did for Terminator 3 and for a couple of other films.
Yeah, they just kind of came in, they kind of came in like a tidal wave after the whole Scream thing kind of kicked the ball out of the hit the ball out of the park, if you will. And yeah, Terminator 3, I worked on 3:10 to Yuma, I did Hellboy, I did Blade 2, Terminator, Dracula 2000, a lot of Wes Craven films from Mimic to...
So why, what happened that you didn't become the next Hans Zimmer, meaning that you didn't stay in LA and keep doing the films?
Well, that was just it. I'm not a music film composer. I don't do scores. I just write theme songs. I like to write title songs. I like to write somewhere in the film songs. I like to write ending credit songs. I like to get a script, read it, work with a composer, and I like to steal some of their orchestral themes that they have going on throughout the movie. And at the end of the movie, I said, "This is a perfect ending credit. Take that part and that part and that part," and I just kind of put a song together out of it, and try to write a couple lyrics around it as a summation of what the movie was, or the moral of it, or how to, maybe it's just for the popcorn guy sweeping up the popcorn at the end of the theater, but at least it got cut. And it was a great run. I had a really, really great run. I just found that things were kind of starting to take off again in Nashville, and you kind of burn out on that kind of writing for a while because you work so hard for it, but then a guy like Hans Zimmer will come in, and he did the score, so he's going to write the song with Celine Dion. He's not going to write it with me. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame him. We all get to top of the food chain, and we just try to stay alive up there, and that's what they have to do. And I guess I would do the same if I was in the same kind of position.
Or maybe you wouldn't.
You're right. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't because I know that there's better songs from other people, and that's my spirit of things. But so things kind of started getting slower, and I kind of picked up in Nashville, and it's been a while. It's been a while, but I had so much fun. My gosh, it was again another chapter in music where I can say been there, done that. I did it. It was cool.
Does the next song we're going to hear have anything to do with film, or can we get?
Oh, this one, no. This one actually is a pretty cool country song. Interesting story.
Okay, go ahead.
I was out on the golf course in Nashville, and I was a single in golf, and I'm about ready to go out on the course, and I hear, Mr. Dixon, you have another person joining you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was on the number 1 tee, and here comes this guy in flip-flops, cut-off shorts, and a T-shirt. And big, really rock and roll sunglasses and long, scraggly hair. And I'm like, oh, dear God, what am I getting myself into? And it turns out, he goes, hey, man, my name's Billy. And it was Billy Falcon. And Billy is one of John Bon Jovi's best friends. And he wrote all those massive hits with Bon Jovi. And while I was working for Polygram Records in New York City, Billy actually had a solo record. And one of his big hits was called Power Windows. And I got to work that record before I even knew him. And here he comes in Nashville, flip-flops and all, showing up on the number 1 tee box. So we end up golfing. He gets off of the 18th tee. He's like, hey, man, we should write a song together. Let's get together and do this. I was like, okay. So he gave me directions to his house. And I went down there and walked into this beautiful mansion. I mean, it's just, he's got a huge place. But there wasn't a whole lot in it. And I said, you kind of new around here? He goes, yeah, it's a new house, but had to move a lot of stuff out. And I said, oh, what happened? Oh, me and my girl are splitting up. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And you come right out into this. He has a beautiful entryway, and then you go through this archway into another back room with a huge picture window that overlooks this beautiful backyard and down the hill and all the forests and everything. And he's got 2 leather seats, and a coffee table just like this. It's the only thing in the room. And it's this huge room. You can hear the echoes and, hardwood floors, and just kind of like when you walk around and you see a new house. Mm-hmm. You're walking in, seeing a new house, you hear that echo. And I said, man, it's I'm so sorry about that. And he goes, yeah, every time I look around, she's a little more gone. And I went, that's what we're writing.
And that's what we're going to hear now.
And this one came out. Everything here is just as it was. Everything she left is right where she left it. Been clinging to the hope, just barely hanging on. But now I'm letting go, it's time to move on. I'm painting all the walls, moving all the furniture, packing all the stuff she ain't coming back for. I'm getting rid of things that don't belong. Oh, with everything I change, she's a little more gone. Got me some new clothes, then I cut my hair. Always kept it long, but that's how she liked it. Been trying to forget the memory of her kiss, but it's the hardest thing to do on a very long list. I'm painting all the walls, moving all the furniture. I'm packing all the stuff she ain't coming back for. I'm getting rid of things that don't belong. Oh, with everything I change, she's a little more gone. And every day I'm getting closer to finally being over her. I'm painting all the walls, moving all the furniture. I'm packing all the stuff she ain't coming back for. No. I'm getting rid of things that don't belong. Oh, with everything I change, she's a little more gone. I'm getting rid of things that don't belong. Oh, with everything I change, she's a little more gone.
Oh, I bet he was. Or do you know if he still can listen to it?
Oh,
to
yeah.
that song and not be sad every time?
Oh, it's one hell of a country song, man.
Absolutely.
It'll rip your heart out.
Absolutely.
But again, there's more than one person out there that can relate to it. So,
Am I allowed to say who you're writing songs for right now, or is that still a secret?
no, it's not a secret at all.
Oh, so you've been writing songs for Andrea Berg.
I have.
And I think even today you wrote 5 songs. Do you wake up in the morning when you get booked for these kind of things and say, okay, I'm gonna write 7 songs today and 3 songs tomorrow? Is it that planned?
No,
or
not at all. There's, the first day we only wrote 1. Because you get stuck on a certain thing, and when you work for an artist like Andrea, I don't speak the language, but I know her melodies, and I know her style of music. And you, as a songwriter, you try to predict their future by what they try to give you little hints, or the record company will give you little hints of, or the management company will give you these little tiny tidbits, and that's all you get. Mm-hmm. You don't, I want to write a song about my cat and that ran away. And no. It never goes into detail. So writing songs for artists like this, it's like rolling dice. It's a crapshoot. You every song is Yahtzee, and boom, you get a cut, or well, not this time. And you're definitely one of the lucky few if you get on an Andrea Berg record, or anybody of fame for that matter.
Is it easier to write for someone if you've met them before, or is it sometimes easier if you haven't met them?
It all depends on how you met them and what kind of conversation you had. If you just shook their hand and got a selfie photo with them, then, it's kind of pointless. But if you sat down and had a meal with them, or talked to them backstage, or got to visit with them in the studio, again, cups of coffee are just... they're the key thing for me. If you have 5 minutes of somebody's attention, and all you have to do is look in their eyes and watch the way that they react to certain things, about how you say certain things, and they either react one way or the other, and you just feed off of that. I'm a really great people person, so I can read people well. I know what they like and I know what they don't once I get to know them.
But what if you don't like them? Can you still write for them?
Well, yeah, you could. But I don't.
No? Okay, so you do have the luxury to be able to say, we don't have any chemistry, this is not going to work? I mean, you wouldn't say to them that way, but you could feel that and say, I'm not going to do this because it's not going to work?
Well, first of all, the way that I look, now Andrea is a little different. She has one style, and she's the queen of one style. But let's just take international pop music for that matter. Pop bands or boy bands or something. If you want to write for NSYNC, you can also be writing for the Backstreet Boys. So whether you don't like that band or not is irrelevant. The fact is like, well, if they don't like it, these guys might.
Oh, I don't mean the music. I mean the people. Like, if you don't like the person.
I've never really been put in that situation.
Oh, that's cool.
It's hard for me not to like a lot of people. I like a lot of people, and you'd have to be a total jerk to set me off. And fortunately I haven't met, or I don't hang out with too many jerks. So.
Well, I think what goes around comes around. So that's probably why that happens in your life.
That's the way it should be, anyway.
What is She Might?
She Might. Oh my gosh. This is for my girlfriend. It's a song that I was just kind of riffing one day on this kind of pseudo modern country kind of thing, and I love to exercise my falsetto voice, you know, la la, and I love to just kind of play around like that. And I was just jamming to this, and it kind of came out. And I thought of her, and this is what happened.
And she knows this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
Since I met her, she's about all that I think about it. Every time she comes around, wearing that sweater, tight as I'd like to wrap my arms around her. But what would she do if I told her just how? She crawls right up inside of me. Alright. So she knows whatever she says goes. She might not even want to try, but she might. She might. The way she smiles, every time she looks my way she smiles. Is that a green light in her eye? Motor running, doing all I can not to jump the gun, just waiting for her to tell me how high. She crawls right up inside of me. Alright, yeah. So she knows whatever she says goes. She might not want to spend the night, but she might. She might. She crawls right up inside of me. Alright. So she knows whatever she says goes. She might not want to stay the night, but if she kisses me goodnight, she might. She might. She might.
What a great way to say I love you. Is she a critic, or is she your biggest fan? What would you say, your girlfriend?
Oh my gosh, she's all of the above.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably the best way. The cable of the guitar.
Sorry.
There we go. Now we've got that settled. Anyway, from your love life, I don't want to get too much into that. We'll go back to Nashville, and we're actually coming to the last song of the evening. Colorado Boy, which is the first.
Oh my gosh, I forgot we're doing that one.
And that is the first song that you wrote when you got to Nashville, and it must be something that's very, very special to you.
Yeah, actually, it kind of is. Growing up in Colorado, I've had so many influences with acoustic music, and going into Nashville and seeing all these cowboy boots and starched jeans and hats and everything, I was like, that reminds me of home. And being at home and growing up that way, among in Colorado we're called hicks, and in Nashville you're called rednecks or you're cowboy. And it was late at night one night. I was writing at my publishing company at the time, and the offices were closed. And hey, Dillon, just shut the door on your way out. And I was like, okay. And I was kind of new in town. And again, I was just kind of messing around with certain fun kind of tunings on guitars. And I just started riffing on this thing, and it immediately made me think of home. It immediately made me think of, geez, man, you know, I've been away from home for so long now. You know, at the time it was like 8-10 years, and I still call Colorado, you know, home. And I get homesick all the time. In fact, right before I got on this thing tonight, I FaceTimed my daddy, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, getting ready to go on live cable net, whatever." And he's like, "Well, have fun. Think of us. Know that we're thinking of you." And I like writing songs where people can think of home, or they can, wherever that home is, whether it's in their heart or it's in an actual place or it's someone else's heart, to have that sense of belonging, I think is you have to have a place in order to exist. And a lot of people see that through religion. Other people see it through science. Other people see it through their husbands, wives, children, whatever. It's all in the eye of the beholder, but you need a place and some place to always look for or go to. Not always want to go there. If you want to go somewhere that bad, just go, because you can. Come hell or high water, there's one way or another that you can do it. So go. And that's what I try to tell a lot of my friends who don't do what I do. I'm like, you've got to come see Germany. You've got to come see Austria. You've got to go see the world. Oh, man, I can't afford it. I said, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Save your money. Just go do it. I'm so very fortunate to see so many places that I call home. Tirol is a home. Berlin is a home. Köln is a home. America's a home. It's all that. And I love it. I love it very much. And to be able to have this kind of comes out like this. And this is one of the first songs I wrote in Nashville. It's called Colorado Boy.
Okay.
Winter promises an early snowfall, and Daniels Park is closing for the year. It's a time for hockey skates instead of baseballs, and Christmas time's forever drawing near. Ski weekends and the best of friends meeting at the brewery for a beer, and football games, no, but soon weren't the same as I watched the days somehow turn to years. Each day I take with me a piece of history and a never lose my roots, 'cause I know that I can be someone who's proud to say he's Colorado raised. He's lived a mile high, enough to touch heaven's gate. And if you were me, you'd most likely see the reasoning behind all of this joy in this Colorado boy. TJ's got a brand new leather jacket, and PD moved to Boulder to go to school. Matt tried married life but couldn't hack it. As for me, I play guitar on this old stool. Oh, I forgot it.
That's what happens with beautiful songs like that mean so much sometimes.
I forgot it.
But it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, and I rehearsed it too. But it's about Grandma's feather bed and oh, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Toboggan sleds and a feather bed, camping in the backyard with my friends. Here it is. Toboggan sleds and a feather bed. If I had the chance, I'd do it all again. 'Cause each day I take with me a piece of history, and I never lose my roots, 'cause I know that I can be someone who's proud to say he's Colorado raised. He's lived a mile high, enough to touch heaven's gate. And if you were me, you'd most likely see the reasoning behind all of this joy in this Colorado boy. Another year and I now live in Nashville. I settled down and got myself a wife. On some winter days, time comes to a standstill, and I go back through the carvings of my life to way back when. I remember then and reminisce on how it all began. And I'm filled with joy, this Colorado boy had it all perfectly planned for this Tennessee man. But I'm still a Colorado boy.
Mr. Dillon Dixon, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun, and I've learned so much, and it's been wonderful to meet you.
Great.
And to listen to your wonderful songs.
Well. Thank you.
I have a small request because he's one of my favorite artists, James Taylor. I thought maybe we could end on on Frozen Man, one of my favorite songs as well. James Taylor, who was one of your inspirations too.
Yeah, he actually was. I mean, I was working at a music store when I was a teenager. And it was snowing outside, and I was a drummer at the time, so I was only a teenager. And there was this. I was like one of the sales guys, and there was this other guy there, and the mall was kind of closed because it was a snowstorm outside. So we're just kind of sitting here doing nothing, going, God, why are we open? No one's even coming. No one's gonna come. And I turned around And usually I'll go into the drum room and start banging around, making noise. And I actually turned around and I looked at all the guitars and I looked over at Randy. Randy was his name. And I was like, Randy, teach me guitar. He goes, what? I said, I don't know how to play guitar. Teach me how to play guitar. And he goes, okay. And he taught me a few basic chords. And I fell in love with acoustic music, and this kind of came out. And so I ended up banging out James Taylor songs, Kenny Loggins songs, America, all the 70s guys, because it was all really open strings, the Eagles, you know. And this is one of my favorite songs to play.
So this is Frozen Man, played by James Taylor,
Yes.
played by Dillon Dixon,
Yeah.
who is traveled wide, listened hard, and he writes from the heart. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
tonight.
you, Emily. Thank you very much for
you.
having me. Last thing I remember was the freezing cold, water reaching up just to swallow me whole. Ice in the rigging and the howling wind, shock to my body as we tumbled in. Merciful God. And my brothers and the others are lost at sea. I alone have returned to tell thee, hidden in ice for a century, to walk the world again. Lord have mercy on the frozen man. First words that were spoken to me, nurse asked me what my name might be. She was all in white at the foot of my bed, yes. I said, angel of mercy, I'm alive, or am I dead? I said, my name is William James McPhee. I was born in 1843, raised in Liverpool by the sea, but that ain't who I am. Lord have mercy on the frozen man. It took a lot of money to start my heart, to pick my leg and to buy my eye. Newspapers call me state of the art, and the children who see me cry, I thought it'd be nice just to visit my grave, see what kind of tombstone I might have. Saw my wife and my daughter, it seemed so strange, both of them dead and gone from extreme old age. See, here when I die, make sure I'm gone. Don't leave nothing to work on, no. 'Cause you can raise your arm, you can wiggle your hand, unlike myself, and you can wave goodbye to the frozen man. Because I know what it means to freeze to death, to lose a little life past every breath, to say goodbye to life on earth, and to come around again. Lord have mercy on the frozen man. Lord have mercy on the frozen man.
Mr. Dillon Dixon on Sofa Recordings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye and good night.
Cheers, guys.